All right, the ToneX pedal is out in what, for maybe like a week so far? I don't know. There's been a bunch of YouTube videos about it. And you know, it usually takes me a little bit to get my thoughts. And that's the point of today's video. A couple of the YouTube channels that I've been watching are Steve Sirlacci's got some great videos. Tone Junkie, always good to help think through some of this stuff. Some other channels that I haven't been subscribed to that I found because of the searches of the ToneX pedal. If you haven't done that, go search it. You can find all the stuff out there. One was called John Wright Music TV. He made a really cool video, like his style. I subscribed, but it looks like he only posts a video like every 6 months or something. And the other one is, I can't pronounce it, but he's got like 142,000 subscribers or something like that. It's like Itchy Pie 42. I don't know. Anyways, big channel. You can go check it out. He talks about the ethics of like tone capturing, which I thought was an interesting topic. I'd never really thought about it like that before. So go check that out. But the point of today's video, the ToneX pedal, should you get it? Should I get it? I don't know. That's why I'm going to make today's video and just kind of walk through some pros and cons that I've been thinking through. And they're not necessarily pros and cons for you because we're in different situations, we have different needs. And so what might be a con for me might be a pro for you and vice versa. So I think what I'm going to do is just talk through some of the talking points, some of the things I've been thinking through, and you can see how they apply to you. Now, 2 caveats right up front. I love that we live in the golden age of guitar. You can get any tone you want. Now, we have access to so many different ways to get tone. There are so many good resources out there, and you can get great tone from just about anything that's available. So you don't have to get something just because it's new, which kind of leads into my second caveat, gear acquisition syndrome. We all know about it. We all know what it does. We all know the temptation we feel when something new comes out. So let me just be very direct. Don't get what you don't need. Don't get what you can't afford. Don't get something just because someone else has something. And number 4, something someone said to me in the comments on Facebook a long time ago when I was searching around about the HX Stomp. I was asking questions. Should I sell some of my gear to get the HX Stomp? Somebody said something that stuck with me. They said, don't sell good gear that you love to get other good gear. Save your money and just get what you think you want, because you know you might regret getting rid of something that you had. I see that all the time, and that really stuck with me. So, but that may not be you. Maybe you're ready. Maybe you've had a birthday recently and you got tons of money. Maybe you've been saving. Maybe this is your first chance to go direct. Maybe you're being forced to go direct. That's been officially true for me. Just this past weekend, I played like the last event of the year that I usually play. That allowed me to bring an amp, and this year they asked us to go direct. So it's official. I have nowhere I play can I play an amp anymore. It is all quiet stages, ampless stages, and that might just be depressing to some of you as it was me, because I was really looking forward to it. But that's just the truth of it. The way things are going ampless is more and more expected, and we have more and more options, which today's video. So let's get into it. I have some talking points. Number 1, the first thing to consider is the ToneX pedal is its own interface. So if you're looking to record yourself playing, to just be able to record, you don't have an interface yet, and you're looking to get into this, the ToneX pedal acts as its own interface. So it's a huge plus for ToneX. Much like the Helix and the HX Stomp Pod Go, you can plug those directly into your computer and record straight from them without needing an external interface. So that's big. Number 2, let's look at the ins and outs. I have definitely some thoughts about the ins and outs. If you look at this pedal, we can see on the back here that it has one single TS mono input and then 2 outputs, a left and a right for stereo. So there we go. I already kind of have a con for me. It only has 1 input. So where is this supposed to go? The reason this might be an issue for me is because maybe I'm just spoiled with the HX Stomp. It has 2 inputs, 2 outputs. It even has a stereo effects loop I'll talk about in just a second. And so I can put that on an existing board wherever I want. With this pedal, the ToneX pedal, you're kind of stuck, I feel like. So let's say, you know, the pedal's kind of small, it fits on your board. Maybe you have some stereo effects that you want to put before the pedal, because like I said, point number 1, it's its own interface. So you can go straight out of this and record. But if you have stereo effects, like your own pedals, like any of the Strymons, and you run stereo, you will have to put them before the ToneX pedal to get them to be recorded, or put them after, and then you skip them. Does that make sense? So if it's after, you retain your stereo image, but if it's before, you're gonna have to sum everything to mono. So that's kind of like, man, why couldn't they just put 2 inputs in there? I get it. It's simple. You know, that may not be a con to you. Maybe you don't even run stereo. I know a lot of places don't run stereo, so that might not be an issue. But if you want to run stereo, or if you want to record stereo, which I feel like might be more common, just know that you'll be giving that up, or you'll have to buy another interface or whatever. Just know. But maybe you're like me and you're thinking, hey, I might want to add this to my HX Stomp board, or maybe you have an HX effects. Those pedals do have an effects loop that you could throw this amp into that effects loop and be able to put the amp anywhere in the chain you want, which is great. But that's kind of a pro for, you know, the Line 6 units, not necessarily ToneX. Other things to consider is that I love the tactile feel of the knobs. It feels and looks like a real pedal, and they made good use of these knobs as well. Like this number 5 right here, it looks like you can hold and get to your alt menu with this green light right here and be able to get to all these other effects. And the effects that are included are reverb, compression, noise gate, and then you have some other tone controls. So that's really cool. A lot of people don't like digging into menus to try to adjust things on the fly. I'm very much that way myself. So that is very appealing to me just with this pedal alone. It also looks really nice. Like I love the way this thing looks. I mean, you know, that's kind of secondary, but it's gonna match many pedal boards, and it's not very big. Like it's not like the size of the Quad Cortex or anything like that. It's not a big toaster. So it's more like the size of an HX Stomp, and it wouldn't look weird on a pedal board. It looks like it would fit on a pedal board because it looks like a pedal. It is a pedal. And the price is really nice. Only $400 compared to something like the HX Stomp, which is $600 new, or like $750, I think, for the HX Stomp XL. And you get so much with this. You get the ability to play through captured amps. You can capture your own stuff, which is another reason I'm very interested in this. But that brings up another little con for me. If you want to capture your own amps, or your own pedals, because you can also capture overdrive pedals, you still have to have their capture device right here. You still have to have this device, and it's $250. I was hoping that the load box needed to make some of these captures would be included in this pedal, but I understand they have a whole nother product line for people who don't want the pedal, and so they're not gonna like provide something that would negate the need for their other pedal. So I totally get that. I just know that if the capture feature would have been in this pedal and it would have been even a little bit more expensive, I would probably already have it, because that's all in one solution, all in one box to be able to capture amps. That would be awesome. All right, the next point is that it's full MIDI controlled. So that's awesome. You can control this thing via MIDI. If you watch Steve Sterlacci's video, he talks about putting this pedal on like a pedal board with the HX Stomp. I've been talking about the HX Stomp because I have those, and I'm thinking that would be very interesting. Not only can you save on DSP, but you can link these things up. So he has a good video, go watch it, about how you can use snapshots, and every time you bring up a new snapshot, you can bring up a different amp or model over here on the ToneX, and that would be a killer rig, whether it's the HX Stomp or even the HX Stomp XL with an expression pedal. That would be like the ultimate rig. You can have amp capture that you want, any pedal you want. I think maybe you could. Did they say they like captured a Dumble you can purchase? Maybe you can get the coveted Klon pedal, the $5,000 Klon pedal, and then have the HX Stomp with all the effects, have expression pedal. That would be like the ultimate pedal board right there. Now, not only do you get this pedal, another pro, when you spend $400, you also get the ToneX software and the Amplitude 5. So Amplitude is like what, $50? It says it's $300, but it's on sale for $50, and you get the ToneX Max software all in one player. So, and that's another $150. So they're really making the price point appealing at $400. That's cheaper than any of the other modelers, except like the NuX stuff that I've done some videos on this channel about. And you also get their like a nice software with this included. So that makes things very tempting, I must say. All right, so you've heard some of these thoughts. What kind of people, who are the people who actually need to consider this, and who are people that this probably doesn't apply to you? I have several friends in the Helix world that I play around with, friends I know, who never plug in their device, ever. Not for updates. They just have a sound that they love, and there's nothing wrong with that. They dialed in the sound they wanted a few years ago, and that's the sound they use, and they just play guitar. They're not interested in plugging up to a computer, and that might be you. I hear a lot of people saying, I don't want to be lugging around a computer and having to use HX Edit to make adjustments and all that stuff. So with the ToneX pedal, if you don't know, like IK Multimedia is a software first company, and they're making their way into the hardware market. And so I don't know if this is a pro or con with this device, because it has this amazing software where you can load stuff and you can make all these adjustments. So you might not be interested in that. You might not be interested in tone capturing and all the software stuff. You just maybe just want to play. and that's great. But the other plus is that this pedal is, like I mentioned earlier, it's just a pedal. You don't have to have software to manipulate it on the fly. You have all these controls right there. You can bank up and bank down and do all the things you need to do right there on the pedal. So that actually might be a pro for you if you're not really a computer person. You know, just plug it in every once in a while, get the tones you want, and then you don't have to keep it hooked up to a computer. So that may or may not be appealing to you. All right, who else? Like I said at the front of this video, if you're just looking into this because everyone's talking about it and you're not really in the market for anything new, don't get this pedal. Don't get it just because, you know, that it looks nice and it is pretty. I mean, did you see the side of it? I love this light on the side, how it glows. I don't need that, but it looks awesome. But maybe you're like me and you've been wanting to get more and more into the capturing world. That's very appealing to me. I have friends with amps that I'm like, ooh, I want to capture that amp. That amp sounds amazing. I want to get more into that. Maybe that's appealing to you. It is me. I just hate the fact that I have to buy another load box, whether it be their brand or you can buy another brand or whatever. I want this to be an all-in-one unit, but it's not. And one more question that I've seen in some of the groups that I'm in, what if I don't have a bunch of amps that I want to capture? And what if I'm not interested in that? Is ToneX still a valuable piece of equipment for someone like that? Well, first, remember that it also captures drives, which I don't know if that answers your question. Maybe you don't have drives, but a lot of people have like their favorite gear and they would like to be able to take that in the box. That's one thing to consider. The second thing, maybe you're someone like me who has like an HX Stomp. Maybe you don't care about all the capturing, but you want to free up some DSP in your other device. You want to be able to control, like I said, and have that really cool pedal board. Maybe that's worth it to you. I mean, it's only $400. I say only $400. It's not like $400 is chump change, but for what you get, even if you're not into the capturing, which like I said, you have to spend more money to capture anyways, maybe that's worth it to you to free up space and have all the amps you want, to have a Dumble, to have Tone Junkie stuff, to have Steve Sterlacci's got some, like I mentioned. You still have access to all these amps that maybe you would never have access to before. And I hear they're really good, high quality captures. So this is not like, even though the price is only $400, people have done A/B tests with the Quad Cortex and you can't hardly tell the difference. So you're getting high quality sounds, high quality captures of high quality amps. That might be worth it to you, especially if you're like me, where I have an HX Stomp and I'm thinking, man, I could have access to all those amps with this pedal, plus free up DSP in my HX Stomp and make this like all-in-one amazing board that I keep talking about, because that's all I'm thinking about is making this amazing HX Stomp ToneX pedal board. This just seems like it would be the bomb. I don't know, maybe it's worth it to you. Let me know down in the comments, like what are you thinking? Like for those of you who have purchased it, let us know your thoughts of what you think so far. If you're still like me and you're on the fence, maybe you have some talking points that I didn't mention, let us know down in the comments. I'd like to have a discussion down there to help me make a decision, because I haven't decided yet if I want this, if I even need this. I'm trying to take my own advice. Am I wanting it just because it's new and people are talking about it, or is this something I could really add to my rig and level up maybe and get some of the tones that I've been wanting? I don't know yet. So let's continue the conversation down in the comments. Also, if you want to support the channel, check out my EXPANSE pack. It's an ever-growing collection of presets for the Line 6 devices. You pay once, but it's like a subscription, except it's not. You get the benefits of a subscription where I always update it, and I'm gonna update it very soon, but you only have to pay once. And then I also have my Essentials pack. And what's the difference? Some people ask. The Essentials pack is like 10 presets mixed with how I dial in amps and cabs, also my custom IRs, and I've blended some and I've been using them a lot and I love them. That's like 10 presets. It's not ever growing. It's like, I want to get up and running right now by this weekend. Essentials pack, EXPANSE pack, ever growing. Some of them, like the Helix has like the most. It's like over 70, maybe close to 80 presets in there now. Some people don't want that. Some people do. Go check them out. They're both down there. If you're a PodGo user, I recently made a course on the PodGo and a lot of people have benefited from it. I made it in a way where it's like, this is something that you're not just gonna watch once and be done with it. This is a resource, like a catalog of like, oh yeah, how do I do that? And you can go back and watch it. I made it into very small bite-sized chunks so you can easily find exactly what you want to know or remember. And I use it myself. I still use my own course that I recorded to remind myself things, because sometimes we learn things and we forget. So anyways, go check that stuff out. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.